My name is Stuart McBain and I'm an accountant from Liverpool. I'm on a 3-month project at the moment called Charge Around Australia. What you can see behind me are printed solar cells. It's a project in conjunction with the Newcastle University, and we're doing a road trip around the coast of Australia where we're visiting schools, talking to them about solar panels and alternative energy, and more generally about a career in science, technology, engineering and maths, often referred to as being STEM. Now, it's COP27 at the moment in Egypt, and I've been asked to add some comments to this meeting that's taking place. Now, my starting point for this is really to look at human beings, because I think human beings are very, very interesting. They've classified their thinking along an axis of logical on one extreme and emotional on the other extreme. So humans need to question themselves as to what type of thinking they're using when they come to their conclusions. So if we move on to the next thing that I think of is of interest is the idea about weather and climate. Now, all the research that I've ever done is weather is a localized and short-term event, whereas climate is a longer-term event. So for me, it's very difficult to determine what is the difference between weather and climate. So your starting point with a conversation about global climate change is a little bit difficult. Now, I'm certainly not a denier by any stretch of the imagination, but over the years I've listened to both sides of the argument, and I've heard people explaining that the orbit of the Earth around the sun and its axis towards the sun are contributory to cycles that are thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of years long, and this is what has contributed over the many millions of years that the planet has been in existence to the fluctuation of the average temperature of the planet. I don't for 1 minute think that human beings have had no impact on it whatsoever, but whilst there is a valid argument on both sides, for me inaction is what reigns. Both sides arguing, no one coming to a consensus, no one agreeing on anything. So if we think about the biology of all this, and if we look at Charles Darwin, and Charles Darwin had On the Origin of Species, and he was talking about how the environment will impact on the creature. And then if we fast forward to James Lovelock and his ideas of Gaia, and he's saying that creatures have impact on the environment. So it's again, there's an argument for both sides as to one affects the other. So for me is that oh, and there's the wind in Australia. That's nice. So for me is that humans appear to want to have an argument. So that there's this group of people on the one side that say it's all global change, global climate change as a result of humans, and there are other people who are saying that it's not as a result of human activity and it's quite a natural cycle. For me, the real discussion is about whether something's finite or infinite. So no one's ever argued with me that fossil fuels are a finite reserve. And as an accountant, I can 100% guarantee to you that any number, no matter how large it is that all you ever do is subtract from it. You arrive at another number, which is 0. Now, in mathematics, you can carry on going past 0 into negative numbers, but I have yet to see anybody successfully demonstrate a negative reserve of coal, gas and oil. I don't think that it actually exists. So for me, there is no argument. There is absolute agreement. Or people who are claiming that what you're saying is wrong belong perhaps in a place of mental security. Anyway, I digress. Should really chop that bit out. So for me, is that there is no argument. Is that that we will run out of a finite supply, and therefore no one's interested in that anymore because there is no argument. So in the meantime, everybody's then rushing over to the other place? Is the place where environment is being argued, and they're saying either positive or negative things about it. So my fear is that whilst this argument is taking place, is that true progression is not happening. I hope that's okay.